Okay, so this is an old form. This is before we had the Excel spreadsheet to do the point system. This was the form I used for 20, 30 years, just handwriting them and putting the point totals in and organizing it to be able to get all of our point levels from the chart. So first chart, okay, let's just go back here a second. We have, it's a seesaw because it goes across the three planets on one side, the Saturn, Jupiter, and the Moon, against the others. You could have said it's, the debate is it this way? Well, now it's, okay, so now I gotta think if there's a square, there's another square, there's the seesaw, there's a sextile, I can make the square go another way. So this is teetering, which I have it labeled as a seesaw, but we've recently changed the categories and fine-tuned them a little bit. So this might fit into display. This would fit into display category. Seesaws and the seesaws always have to have a square. A display will always have at least a square, and splashes don't have squares. And the locomotive has the anywhere from the square up to the shrine, but only one empty area. So usually with 3 empty areas, 1, 2. If the sextile didn't help divide the chart, you wouldn't have the second one. So even though I've always related to it as a seesaw, now I have to look at this for many years. This has been adjusted and she fits into display. One other thing to talk about the pattern types. We're using the pattern types in the signs of the zodiac based on more exacting aspects. The traditional, when you look in the computer programs and they say that Jones's pattern type or Jared's pattern types, they're gonna give you pattern types based on how planets group up in the houses. And it's not really, it's just by houses, not by degrees. It's not so accurate, it's a basic pattern looking from the houses. But when you do it from the signs, you see it exactly clearly. There's exact points around this. Okay. So you're always going over things. It's always a working process. You've never totally defined a person's chart. You're just tuning in, and as you grow with the chart, with each chart. So again, on chart half moon phase, it's not really, we renamed them because I used to call the half moon phase coming up to the half moon. This is really the waning, it's the waning gibbous moon. We had said the waxing, it was a waning half moon, but I changed the meanings that anything waxing is on the one side, anything waning on the other, not before and after an aspect. So that changed that again. So this is getting caught up. We grow through things that change us. So this is the waning gibbous moon. We're not going to stay there. But the sun in Cancer, the sensitive, strong-willed, personal sun in Cancer, with a rational moon in Aquarius and a Sag rising. So you have the strong, feeling-oriented Cancer who's going to take things personally, but if you get close to her and you try and touch or hug, she has the Aquarius moon. She's very cerebral and rational. She intellectualizes her feelings. So you have a strong feeling person who intellectualizes her feelings, with a Sag ascendant who's going to have opinions about things. Okay, this is her combination. We often saw the role of her, like knowing what she went through, and that some people have studied her well enough to know deeper things. But the Aquarius moon made her a somewhat serious person. So the moment someone would get really emotional, get her feeling energy and get really emotional, if they start smothering her, she's going to get very detached and want to talk, be rational, want to be respected for her feelings. And if she was, she'd be very benevolent and jovial. If she's not, she's very opinionated. That's Sag ascendant coming in. Okay. The Sag ascendant can adapt. It has the adaptability to adapt to different situations, see different countries, see different ways. But the Taurus, the Aquarius moon is fairly fixed, and the Cancer is really sensitive, personal. So okay. We're We look at daylight increase in the alligator 7-7. Daylight is greater, darkness greater 7-7. Darkness increasing 9-5. Daylight increasing, so 9 to 5. Okay, not that big of a difference, but needs to belong, moving towards belonging. 1 spring, 6 summer, 3 autumn, 4 winter. Just balance the priorities in the summer, and not a big deal. Okay, so we look through this. We see masculine, feminine, 8 feminine, 6 masculine. Okay, again, fairly balanced. Cardinal, 5, fixed 5, mutable 3. Okay, fairly even balance. With the rulerships, the sun rules 1, moon rules 3, Mercury 2, Sun 2, Mars 1, Jupiter 1, Saturn rules 4 points. Between Saturn and the moon are her 2 primary rulers. The moon rules her sun, so like that's strong, but the Saturn rules the moon. So you have that side. So then we just go through the cues. I feel and I know, or I feel, I know, and I analyze. These are the 3 strong points. 3 Cancer, I feel. 3 Aquarius, I know. 2 Virgo, I analyze. So, okay, now when we jump to the houses, 5 below, 7 above. Well, she wanted a personal world, but she did have a more prominent outer function too. Rising 5, setting 6, more respondent than instigative. 4 intuition, 1 feeling, 6 sensation, 1 thinking. So the ability to respond and interact, that sensibility was the strongest factor. But remember, she's still the Cancer. It's going to take her reactions sensitively. Okay, angular 5, succeedant 7. That's pretty stubborn, pretty determined. Cadent 0. So in the houses, there's no adaptability. It's not really the adaptable houses. So she's pushing, she's trying to make things happen, trying to hold it together, but not really adapting, not really compromising or adaptable, or trying to be consistent, hold things together, not scrambling to hold them together. Okay, so even though she has the Sag rising, her basic instincts when it comes to circumstances, take care of this, gotta take care of this, is fixed, then cardinal, then angular. Okay, so there's a difference between the signs and the houses here. That's significant. When there's a void, it really stands out as something. It's going to stand out in the character. 2 fire, 3 air, 3 self to reward, relationships there, 3 rewards, 3 concerns, 4. So it's fairly evened out. Same with the elements in the signs, 2, 4, 4, 4. So there's not a big standing out. The fire and the self, the fire and the signs house were both a low point of 2. The pride or the self, the fire is the lower point. But anyways, it's the no cadent that stands out and makes you puzzled. I wonder what that implies. So we wonder about it. Okay, goes to the back of our mind. Then we just look through houses. 3 of value, 3 points on value, 3 points on partnership, 3 points on trust. Those were 3 keywords. So marrying one of rich, marrying a king, or marrying a prince who's got money and power and status, that solves the values on the partnerships. The trust issue, that's another big issue. Okay, so we're just going to go along here. It's organized to look at everything, but there's so much you can go. You can't, it depends how much you're into this, how deeply you want to go. You can, if you go look at the chart, excuse me, if you're looking at the chart, this is the iAstro, my program. It has the sun in Cancer. The pentan is Scorpio inside it with a Pisces subpentan. So it's water, water, water. So it's really emotional, sensitive, personal, judgmental, that sign. If you took the hexagrams, I mean, you get the hexagrams lines, you can keep going, but the hexagrams just out of curiosity here. Preponderance of the great, progress in Scorpio, and the family, the clan inside Pisces. But it's really, it's easier to just look at this on Cancer with a Scorpio pentan. Oh, that's judgmental, that's determined, and Pisces inside of that. we got all of those. You can come back and get to this at any time, but we're not. We're going to go ahead. So this just has, this was the chart with all the I Ching hexagrams, all the pentans. And then it gave the total point, the point totals. This is all the accentuations from the chart, every aspect on each of the 3 levels, every hexagram accentuation on each of the 3 levels for planet positions, for signs, for the aspects. They're all totaled up here. And on this right-hand side, we can't see it really well. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger. You can see the small m's for minimums and big m's. There's one big M, 2. The 2 ones that are the most strongest, that happen the most, are the theme keeping still, waiting, and gathering together, massing, holding, counting points, building things up as a Scorpio theme. Okay, those are the most common ones in her chart. Sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't, but I really just added in here because it's in our repertoire. Then the minimums: enthusiasm, conflict, pushing upward, peace, treading, and the clinging for it. That's all the hexagrams that have the small, or they only have 4 accentuations. They're the small ones least accentuated. I'm going to stay on that. Okay, so we basically saw the Cancer, the Aquarius moon, and the Sagittarius. Don't lose track of that. I want to keep the main personality, the most obvious things focused. Now we're going to look at Prince Charles' chart, and we see he's the Scorpio with the Taurus moon and the Leo rising. So fixed, fixed, fixed. This is the way I do it. This is the way things are done. This is the way it has to be. And it's Scorpio, judgmental, both water, Cancer, and both water, both judgmental. But with his Taurus moon, it's at odds a bit with the Aquarius moon. The Taurus moon is very practical. Matter of fact, Mom, it's in the 10th house. Mom does this, I did this, I have to do this, the family does this, this is the way it's done. Okay, so like, even when it came to naming their kids, she was not allowed to give the name to her kids. It had to be done the tradition, the way the family would do it, his family. So, okay, would a Cancer take that personally? Perhaps. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going. There's lots to get through. I'm just really going through steps, setting a standard. I'm not trying to perform. I'm just trying to make a sensible process of coming at all this information. So we went through that chart really fast. We're going to be coming back and going through planets and houses and going through all of that stuff as we compare them. We do them all at the same time. So yeah, there's his moon in the 10th house in Taurus. Mom's the Taurus. Guess who rules? Guess how he lives is how he's determined. It's very stubborn. But his Scorpio, okay, let's just go down to the points. The Scorpio, the Leo rising, and the moon in Taurus, this is all very fixed. He has things his way. Is he going to adjust to be with someone? No, he's going to expect someone else to align and adjust with him, or to meet him on his terms. Not to expect to change him, change the prince. Okay,